Hello, Big Two. Hello, friends. Welcome to LizziefayeLovesBooks. I'm Elizabeth, and we are over halfway done with the month of September. Where does the time go? I feel like I say that all the time, but it is today, September 17th, I think. And I never did a TBR video for the month of September. I don't even know if I'll get one done for October. I've been thinking a little bit more about what I am going to read in October because there are some fall readathons. Of course, I just did a video about fall readathons, but there are some definite things that I want to take part in. I've got a buddy read coming up for Victober, which you are invited to join in on, and things like that. But for the month of September, other than just the regular read-alongs and things that I've been talking about all year, I didn't really have any big plans. So whenever I, got to the beginning of September, I thought, okay, I need to get back into some more nonfiction reading because I really didn't do much of any nonfiction reading for my devotion time. I did have a memoir that I read, and I have listened to another one this month already too, but I didn't really do a lot of devotional nonfiction type reading. So I have currently 3 books that are ongoing for my own devotion, and then 2 that I'm reading with my daughter Emily. So 5 books total just for nonfiction devotional type reading. And then I picked up at the beginning of the month 3 fiction books just for fun, and one of them was so good I couldn't put it down, and it made me kind of get behind on the others, but I just today finished the 3rd one. So I have finished now 3 fiction books, and then all the other nonfiction are still ongoing. So I want to talk about what I am currently reading, and then I will mention the audiobooks that I have listened to. I am currently only in the middle of one on CD, and I just finished up the one that I was listening to on my phone. So all total, I finished 14 books for the month. 5 of them have been children's books. 4 of them were storybooks because I decided to go ahead and make a little more progress on my Caldecott project. Back in the month of May, Emily and I read 3 decades worth of Caldecott winners. And, well, really 3 decades plus 2 more, because I think the very first Caldecott winner was in 1938. So we kind of left off with 1970. So I decided to go ahead and order all the 1970s Caldecott winners. So far, we've read 4 of them. Because we're just doing 10 of them, we don't really have the pressure of having to read one every day. And I won't show them all to you today, but the one I will show you is one that I had read with Katie when she was in elementary school. This had been on her summer reading list. This one is really good. I had forgotten how much I enjoyed this one. Why Mosquitos Buzz in People's Ears by Verna Ardema, and the pictures are by Leo and Diane Dillon. This is just really cute. I'll do a whole video about the 1970s Caldecott winners, but so far we've read 4. We've actually read 5 because we did read the 1970 winner back in May. We'll probably read it again. It was Sylvester and the Magic Pebble. So that's a really good one too. Anyway, then the other children's book that I, even though it's a chapter book, I listened to it on audio because Elizabeth Tyree from Soul Stained Ink has a classic children's literature book club, and I had missed it a couple of times, and this was last month's pick, and I kind of forgot about it. So I wanted to go ahead and pick this one up. This is called The Little Prince. I don't know how to say the author's name. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, maybe? I'm not sure if I don't know. Those accent marks always throw me. I don't know. Anyway, I don't really get this. The audiobook was good. It was read by Richard Gere and Haley Joel Osment and a couple of other people, so it was a full cast audio. There were a couple little things that I thought were kind of profound, but I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. So anyway, this month's selection I've read before, and I might read it again. It's The Wizard of Oz. I've read maybe the first 3 Wizard of Oz books, and I would like to read more. If I can find this on audio, I will listen to that again. Then, let's see. Oh, so my current reads. With Emily, I am finishing up a book we've been reading for a couple of months now. This is the Berenstain Bears bedtime devotional book. We've been reading it in the morning, even though it says bedtime devotional. I guess this is our third month because it has about 90 devotions, and we've just been reading one a day. Near the end of August, I was just chatting with her about, what we would read after we got done with the Berenstain Bears book, and she went in her room and she pulled this out. And I was like, oh, well, that's a good choice. And I looked in it, and this was given to her by my mom on her 5th birthday. It says, for Emily on her 5th birthday from Grandma Frances Jones, who loves you very much. So I was like, oh, I don't think we've ever read this book. And I went through, and it's got 100 Bible stories. And so it was a few days before the end of August, and I said, you know what? Let's just go ahead and start this now. And I thought, if we start it, with a few days left in the month of August, then it'll work out if we just read one a day, where we will finish it up at the end of the third month. What would that be? Yeah, at the end of November. I don't know if we're going to do that because we're still reading this one. We have been reading one story per day throughout September so far, and I think we'll continue to do that until we get to the end of September. But then I think we might just go ahead and read 2 a day for the month of October, and then that way we can start something else, because we've got a couple of other things that we want to start, and they're not long. Each story is just 2 pages, so it will not be too much to read 2 stories per day. Then for myself, I didn't have a journey magazine that matched up with the month of September. At least I didn't have one that I hadn't read yet. So I searched around my shelves trying to figure out what I wanted to read, and I ended up picking up the Little Women devotional. My daughter gave me this last Christmas, and I had read the Anne of Green Gables devotional and loved it. This is also by the same author, Rachel Dodge, and I'm very much enjoying it. Now, the illustrator is different, and I don't love the illustrations in this book as much as the Anne of Green Gables illustrations. I don't hate them. They're beautiful. But the style of the faces, it's just not quite as, I don't know. I just don't love them as much. So anyway, but still very, very nicely done, and I'm very much enjoying it. So this, I think, there's one devotion for each chapter in Little Women, which is 40 something. So it was the same way with Anne of Green Gables, and so I ended up reading through, I think, the first 20 days, and then the last 10 days I read 2. I decided I didn't want to do that this time, so I'm just going to read on into next month, a chapter a day, and just enjoy it. It's fine if it takes 2 months to read. It's fine. And I will probably take 2 months to read this one as well. I'm reading the Daniel Plan. This is by Rick Warren, Daniel Amen, and Mark Hyman. Rick Warren is a pastor. Daniel Amen is a doctor. And Mark Hyman is also a doctor. Let's see here. Here they are right here. Anyway, this is basically a food/lifestyle plan. And I had seen this at our bookstore. I now have a devotional book based on it and a study guide. And as I'm getting into this, I might like to even start a group at my church to do this plan. A few people had mentioned to me back last Christmas, we had talked about possibly starting some kind of a weight loss group, and I think this would be ideal. So I may do that. Oh, and then the other thing I am reading, I mentioned these Les Feldick Bible study books in my last book haul, and I started with book 1. I only have maybe 20 of these, and there's a total of 80, but I do have the first 12, and I think I might be missing book 8 or 9. I'm not sure. I thought I had all the way from 1 to 12, except for 11, which I just bought on eBay. Somebody just had a random copy of book 11, and I paid $10 for it. It was listed for 15, and they offered me 10, so I took it. Anyway, I am really enjoying this, and these are set up in 3 lessons per book, and each lesson has 4 parts, and each part is 7 to 8 pages. So I have been taking 2 days per part, which is a total of 24 days per book, and I kind of did the math, looked at the calendar, and I think I can get 5 of these read by the end of the year. If I just quit worrying about finishing things by the end of the month and just look at the days left at the, in the year, and go ahead, because I don't want to start one and carry it over into the next year, but it'll work out just about right, like New Year's or the day before, New Year's Eve or the day before, when I will finish the 5th book if I stay on track with that. So that is my plan. All right, so then the things that I have finished so far. I have one nonfiction book that I have listened to. I listened to I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, and I have had this on my Hoopla holes for a long time. Some of the Hoopla borrows you have to wait for, and others you can get right away. So this has been on my holes for a long time. I had bought my daughter a copy of this book last Christmas because she wanted to read it, and I knew I wanted to read it as well. It's very sad, and I hope that Jeanette is in a better place now than she was as a child actor growing up. It's basically the story of her and her mom, and just her experience as a child actor, and with an eating disorder, and just everything that goes along with that, and on into her adult life, and things like that. I think she's 30 now. Anyway, I thought it was very compelling, and I wish that she wouldn't have used the F word quite so much in the last half of the book, but still I thought that it was very compelling, and she reads the audiobook. So I always like that, when an author reads their own memoir for the audiobook. Let's see. So, the audiobook that I am still in the middle of is Precious and Grace by Alexander McCall Smith. I want to say this is book 16, 17, 18, somewhere in there, of the Number One Ladies Detective Agency, and very enjoyable. It's been a while since I had picked up one from this series, and really enjoying that. I did finish a series. I read or listened to the last 3 books in the Seaside Cafe Mysteries. I don't know if I can remember what order these are. Okay, so I started with number 5. I did listen to 2 or 3 of them last month. So I started the month with number 5, Closely Harbored Secrets. And these are by Bree Baker, who is Julie and Lindsay. Then book 6 is Partners in Lime. And then book 7, I don't have a physical copy of. It's called Pleading the Fish. And I really liked how this ended. My only complaint about the series at all, really, is how superstitious they are. But that's part of the premise and everything. And I loved how it ended. There were a couple of epilogues from other people's perspectives, and I just loved how the whole series wrapped up. So if you have read any of the series, and I highly recommend that you keep going and get all the way to the end. It was adorable. The print book that I read at the beginning of the month that I couldn't put down is book 5 in the Jack Reacher series by Lee Child, Echo Burning. This was just like unputdownable. It was really, really good. So because of that, I thought, I should watch one of the Jack Reacher movies starring Tom Cruise. And I didn't even bother to look and see which stories that he did. I guess I just figured it would probably be one of the first 2 or 3 books. Well, I've read 5 now, so I thought, surely it won't get spoiled. So I ordered the first one. It's just called Jack Reacher. It's based on book 9. My husband watched it with me, and I was like, have you ever seen this before? He goes, yeah, I think I've watched it, but he's never read any of the books. So as I'm watching it, I thought, I don't recognize this story at all. So I finally looked it up and found it. Based on book 9. So now I'm spoiled for book 9. And the other movie, I think he's only done 2. It's based on book 18. So I thought, okay, not going to watch that. Not for a while. I have watched the and I've mentioned this before, the Reacher series that stars another star. It's another man that plays Reacher, and that's on Prime Video. That whole first season is based on the first book, The Killing Floor. So if you've read at least The Killing Floor, then you're not going to be spoiled for the book. You'll be spoiled for the series, but the season 1 of the series, but not for the book. It's just a matter of which you would rather be spoiled for, I guess. And honestly, by the time I get to book 9, which is still, I've got 3 books in between now and then, I'm probably going to forget what I watched, so it should be fine. All right. Other cozy mysteries that I have read. Well, let me show you one before I forget. I did listen to book 3 in the Christmas Tree Farm Mysteries by Jacqueline Frost or Julianne Lindsay. And now I'm ready for the new one, which is coming out in October. So I'm excited about that. This one was a reread. I'm afraid I'm going to say the name wrong because the names are so cute, but I get them all mixed up. Anyway, this is a picture of it, and very good, very good. Very much enjoyed it. So for the Jen McKinley read-along, or the Triple Top Treat read-along, I think I'm going to be able to get caught up finally and back on schedule by the end of September, because the 2 books scheduled for September are both books I can get on audio. So the first August book is Dark Chocolate Demise, and this is, I think, number 9. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll put it here. Of the Cupcake Bakery Mysteries. I just finished this today, and because I finished my Southern Sewing Circle book today, now I can start another cozy mystery in print. So the next book is going to be in the Library Lovers Mysteries, which I think is number 6. It's A Likely Story. So once I get done with these 2 August books, then the 2 books for September, like I said, I can get them on audio. There's a Hat Shop book, which I think is the next one. And then the next Bake Shop mystery is called Vanilla Beaned. And I don't own either of those, or I would have brought them on in here. But I'm going to listen to those on Hoopla, so I'm excited. And then I'm going to be caught up, and I'm going to stay on schedule. Famous last words, but hopefully I will be able to stay on schedule. And also in print, I picked up one of the middle grade trilogies that I've been trying to finish for a few years now, and this series is on my Serious About Series list. It's book 2 in the Robin Hoodlum Adventures by Kekla Magoon. It's called Rebellion of Thieves. This is kind of a futuristic urban style Robin Hood retelling. And so I went ahead and ordered book 3, which is called Reign of Outlaws. And if it comes in soon enough, and if I think I can get it done by the end of September, I might just go ahead and read that and then check that series off my list. So that'll be awesome. I think that's everything so far that I have read or that I'm currently reading. A couple of other things that I have here that I plan to read this month. I already have checked out the audiobook of this book on Hoopla, Honeymoons Can Be Hazardous by Amanda Flower. This is, I think, the most recent right now of the Matchmakers series. I think there's another new one coming out very soon, though. But I'm going to go ahead and get that one done, and then hopefully, as soon as the next one comes out, I'll be able to get it done as well. And I need to get back to my Newbery project. This is another one of the Newbery winners from the 1930s. I don't know if you pronounce this Dobry or Dobry. It is by Monica Shannon, and I'd like to get this one read this month, too. I've got a shorter one that I own. I think it's The Cat Who Went to Heaven, and if it looks like I'm not going to be able to really put the time into this one, I'll go ahead and read that one, but I don't know. I've already got this checked out from the library, so I may as well just go ahead and read it. Anyway, have y'all ever read this? Do you have any idea what this is about or anything? I have no idea. Okay, so I think that is everything that I want to share with you in this video. I need to start really trying to figure out what I need to finish by the end of the year and what I am going to plug into the different prompts for the various fall readathons that I'm doing. I hope to be back soon with another video. Meanwhile, I hope you are having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.